Okay, we're starting off laying down on your back. So take your time, and I'd like to take several minutes just to lay here, just to kind of transition into practice mode. So let your body grow soft and heavy and your eyes close down. Allow your breath to get very long and slow. Expanding your body to let in the inhale. And compressing your belly and your ribs inward to clean out your lungs on the exhale. Long and slow. Inhale deeply. And exhale, let it go. And keep breathing like this, nice and slowly. Continue to let your body be at ease. And so now that you're breathing deeply and slowly, you're able to really slow down your mind and watch your breath. Notice the breath coming in. Notice the breath going out. Notice how it feels in your whole body. Giving yourself just a moment to be present with what is. And just to connect with the sensations in your body. It can be very grounding. And I think it's a really great place to start a yoga practice from. Just connecting with your body and your breath for a moment. Your thoughts might distract you and you might wander off course as you watch your breath, and that's okay. Just label your thoughts as thinking. You could say, I was thinking, and go back to watching the breath moving in. And watch the breath move out. All right, keep that long, slow breath, and we're going to start to move here. Think of reaching out long through your fingers and toes. Big stretch here. Take as long as you can, reaching out. Big breath in, one more here. And then with your exhale, pull your knees into your chest, hands to your shins. We're going to think forehead to knees, make a tiny ball. And then let's do that a few more times. Inhaling to get really long, stretch out. Exhaling to tiny ball. Now keep going. Just find a little pace that suits you, a rhythm. Inhale to reach out. Exhale to pull in. Inhale. Nice and smooth. And exhale. So notice what's happening in your spine as you move. You're having this lengthening extension in your spine and this contraction, this flexion when you round your spine. Okay. Now, next time you curl up into that tiny ball, let's hold it right there and just breathe. Think of lifting your head and shoulders with your long neck. You could always drop your head if you needed a break here, but maybe let's take one more big breath here, maybe reaching for your feet. And then curl yourself out here as you let it go, as you exhale, and drop that head to the floor. And you could tuck your hands behind your knees here and just circle each knee out. So getting a nice movement in your hips. Almost like you're using your femur bone, your big thigh bone, to stir the joint in your hip socket. All right, reverse your knee circles. Hopefully it feels nice. Okay, and then bring them back in here. We're gonna start to twist. So freeze your knees together and take your arms out into a cactus shape. Okay, and I like to think of putting some gentle resistance against the floor here, like you want to lift your heart. Okay, and that's going to keep your upper body on the clock, and it's going to keep your heart open as we start to twist. So start to drop your knees over to the right. Let them hover so they don't come all the way down. And then you look over to the left. Make sure that left shoulder blade is on the floor. And we'll bring it back into center here. Keep breathing. And now hover the knees over to the left. You look to the right. So you're looking away from your knees. Press the shoulders down. And then we'll take a few more like that. You could think of inhaling through center and exhaling as you hover and twist. Nice and slow. Inhale through center. And exhale, hover to the other side and twist. So you're looking away from your knees each time. And that's going to give you that really dreamy twist that goes all the way up your spine. All right, so hopefully you feel some nice warmth and spaciousness happening in your long spine here. Using that breath to really release tension in your low back, the sides of your ribs. And next time you come back up through center, pause it here. Tuck your hands behind your knees and we'll rock up. Okay, rock it up and I'll meet you up here in a seat. So transitioning into a boat pose, just find that you can tuck your tailbone underneath you, like you wanted to point your tailbone at your knees, okay? And that's gonna give you maybe a little bit more comfortable place to sit down in, but make your longest spine from here. And then think of leaning back just enough that you feel your abs engage. And you can even put your hands on your abs and feel when they're engaged. And so that's the engagement that we want to keep, that long spine ab engagement as you start to maybe lift one foot at a time, maybe lifting both feet, who knows? Hold and breathe in your boat pose. Longest spine and drop those shoulders maybe a little bit more. So here in your boat, remember you always have options. You can drop your tippy toes, you can drop your hands, but I want to twist us from here. So if your hands are free, put them together in front of you, okay? And then twist to look over your right shoulder, looking behind you. Inhale back through center, nice and slow. Exhale, twisting to the left. Look over that left shoulder. Use those obliques. Inhale through center and exhale to the other side. So let's keep it going. I want to build some warmth with you, build some nice strength. Remember to drop your feet if it gets to be too much at any time. Okay, but as long as you're having a good time, let's do 3 more on each side. So 3 more side to side. 2 more. Nice and strong in that long spine. 1 more, nice and slow. Coming back through center, let it go. Go ahead and drop those feet. If you were holding them up, drop your knees and hands out to one side, and we'll transition to hands and knees from here. Okay, so hopefully feeling really warm in your spine and your back and your core. Okay, that's a really great place for us to start our practice. Tuck your toes. Go ahead and lift your hips up and back. We'll go right up into downward facing dog. And you can walk your heels out here. Take a moment, really pedaling out your heels. Sometimes I notice when I first get into a down dog, if I straighten my legs right away, my spine gets kind of rounded, okay? So maybe you start off with really softly bent legs, bent knees, so that you can get that spine nice and long, okay? And then maybe easing into extending the legs later. So just kind of play with that. Okay, we won't stay much longer. Inhaling here in your downward facing dog. Move your heart forward and find a plank position. Okay, now I'm gonna challenge you and I'm gonna twist you a little bit here to get your upper body nice and warm. So feel free to drop your knees at any time. Okay, you can do all of this plank variation with the knees up or down. So that being said, take one more big breath in your plank wherever you are. With your exhale, come halfway down. Think of pulling your elbows into your ribs, okay? Now you could do this with your knees down as well. Inhaling, press back up through your plank. Now I'm gonna have you drop down into your right hand and reach up with your left, transitioning into a side plank. Go ahead and look up at that top hand. And coming down as you exhale, back to that plank. Again, bend your elbows, pull them into your ribs, come halfway down. Maybe use your knees. Inhale up through your plank. And to the other side plank. So this time dropping into your left hand, reach up with your right. Big side plank. And exhale to bring it down to plank. One more time. Pull those elbows into your ribs, come halfway down. Inhale all the way up to your plank pose. And exhale here, walk to your hands and fold. Take a moment. Okay, softly bend your knees. You can hang your head. And take a moment in this forward fold, just shaking it out, letting your spine hang long. Take several more breaths here. All right, so from here, we're gonna roll it up. Just drop into your heels from your forward fold. Push down into those heels as you inhale. Stack yourself up nice and tall. I like to think of lifting each bone and setting it down on the bottom bones. Reach those hands up, look up. Okay, on your exhale, we're gonna drop it down into a chair squat. So drop your tailbone, point those knees forward. Keep the heart big and open. And then inhale all the way back up to standing. Maybe lift the heart again. Exhale here, hinging at your hips, fold it all the way down. Palms on the floor here. We're gonna inhale and step it right back to a plank. Okay, exhale here. We're gonna do just like we did before. Come halfway down, elbows to ribs. You can use the knees to do this. Inhale, press it up to a side plank. Left hand up, right hand down. Okay, you could drop a knee here too. Exhale down through that plank. Okay, just like we did before, elbows to ribs, halfway down. Inhale up through plank to the other side plank. Right hand up, left hand down. Exhale, bring it back down to plank. One last time, elbows to ribs, halfway down. And inhale, press it up to that last plank. Exhale here, walk to your hands and fold. Take a moment here, hanging, shaking it out. You might join your hands behind you this time. Move them away from you. Okay, I really think it's so important to start every practice by giving your spine a chance to hang. Okay, and that's what forward folding can be really useful for. Okay, from here, we're going to roll up. So release your hands if you join them. Push down into those heels. Inhale, roll it up, just like we did before. Exhale, down into that chair squat. So dropping into your heels. Okay, drop that tailbone, point those knees over your toes. And inhale, back up to standing. Exhale, hinging, fold it all the way down. Palms are on the floor. Inhaling here, step it back for another plank. Okay, we're gonna do that little side plank flow one more time just to build some warmth. So exhale, halfway down, elbows to ribs. Maybe use your knees. Inhale up to a side plank. Left hand up, right hand down. Exhale, back down through your plank, elbows to ribs. And inhale up to the other side plank. Right hand up, left hand down. Exhale, bring it down, halfway. Last time. Inhale, back up to that plank. And exhale, walk to your hands. Big forward fold here. Okay, this is our third time hanging in a forward fold. We're a little warmer. So maybe you want to grab your hands behind your calves. You can softly bend your knees and actually hug your legs. Give your legs a great hug. Make sure your neck is a bit long. All right, let's keep moving. We're gonna roll it up. So push into your heels, inhale, stack yourself up. Nice and tall. Lift that big heart. And then again, exhale, sit down into your chair squat. Point those knees forward. Inhale, bring it up to standing, heart up. And exhale, hinging, folding all the way down. Palms are down. Inhale here, step it back to your plank. And then exhale, press it back to downward facing dog. And I'll meet you here. Let's take a moment just to breathe. So 5 or 6 breaths here in downward facing dog. Perhaps walking your heels a bit more. I like to do a nice shake of the head. Yes, here. And no. Really letting it hang. Ooh. And then think about pushing strongly into your hands and feet at the same time as you cultivate a sense of lift in the center of each palm, just a sense of lift, and the center of each arch of your foot, a sense of lifting and kind of bridging upward. So play around with that. We're going to keep moving, yogis. Here we go. Inhaling here, we're going to get the right leg up and out behind. Exhaling here, send that right knee forward. Think of drawing it close to your right elbow, hovering it there, little core work. Inhale, right leg up in the sky, send it back. Exhale, right foot forward, drop it outside your right hand. So we're gonna come up into a lunge here. With your inhale, go ahead and sweep all hands up to the sky. Think of lifting that heart up and open. Remember, you can drop the back knee if you need to, okay? Okay, exhaling here, drop your heart, sweep your hands way back. See if you could just bow your head toward the ground. Keep the lunge nice and strong. We're gonna bring it back up. Inhaling here, lift your heart, hands up, lifting up into that same crescent lunge. Big shoulder movement. And then just like before, again, exhale, drop your heart, reach your hands up and back. Big shoulder movement. Let's do it one more time. Inhaling here, all the hands up. Lift your heart. And exhaling here, head down, sweep the hands up to the sky. Hold it right here. So you can drop the left knee at any time here and just, you're still there, okay? Join your hands behind you, perhaps. Move them away from you and breathe. Allow the legs to push gently against the floor here in your lunge. Allow the knees to draw inward slightly, building warmth, building stability in your legs. How about one more big breath here? And then come out slowly, dropping your hands under your shoulders, okay? You can come out down inside that right foot. And let's come up through a 3-leg dog. So inhaling here, right leg up in the sky. And exhale here, right foot down, back to downward facing dog. So let's flow a little bit. Then we'll do the other side. Inhaling here, heart moves forward to plank. Exhale to your hands and fold. Inhale to roll yourself up. Reach up high, think of a teeny back bend here. Exhale down into your chair squat. Hold here. We're gonna twist from the squat. So inhaling, look over your left shoulder, look behind you. Reach the left hand back, twist. Exhale, back to your chair squat. Drop a little lower. Inhale, open to the right. Look over that right shoulder. Reach behind you. Exhale, back to center. Drop a little lower. Inhale, all the way up to standing. Lift your heart. Then exhale, hinging at your hips. Fold it all the way down. Halfway up on your inhale, think of looking forward over the front of your space. Then exhale, hinging, fold, hug your legs. Palms are down here. Inhale back to your plank pose. Don't worry, we won't do any more plank push-ups and side planks here. We're just gonna exhale all the way down to the floor. Inhaling here, build a nice little cobra, opening, pulling your heart up away from the floor. Then exhale here to downward facing dog. You can tuck your toes, you can use your knees. I'll meet you there. Downward facing dog. So take some time here, pedaling it out. Notice how the backs of the legs feel. Take some time to actively push the floor away, drawing your elbows inward. Maybe close your eyes. All right, from your downward facing dog, let's lunge on the other side. So inhaling here, left leg up in the sky. Send it nice and high. Try to keep those hips level. And exhaling here, left knee to left elbow, little hover. Inhaling, send the leg back, three-leg dog. Exhale here, send that left foot forward, drop it in a lunge. So drop that left foot next to the left hand. Remember, you can put the right knee down here to make this a more grounded lunge. But either way, with your inhale, arms up in the air. Think of sweeping your heart up and open. Strong legs, okay? Okay, exhaling here, we're gonna bow. So drop your heart forward, sweep your hands back. Bow humbly. And then inhale, sweep your big heart up and open. Okay, so one more just like that. Bring it up. Bring it down. Okay, next time you come down, hold it right here. We're thinking of holding that kind of bowing shape. You can join your hands behind you, move them away. And you can drop the back knee if you want to make this a little more gentle. Breathe. Now, wherever you are, I want you to keep your legs active. You're pushing both legs actively down against the floor, and you're pulling those knees inward, aren't you? Very nice, yogis. One more breath here. And then let it go. Drop your hands down under your shoulders, inside that left leg. Let's come up through a three-leg dog. So inhaling here, left leg up in the sky. Three-leg dog. Then exhale, drop that left foot next to the right. Back in downward facing dog. Okay, here comes another little vinyasa. Keep flowing. Inhaling here, heart moving forward, find a plank. And exhaling, walk to your hands and fold. Roll it up on the inhale, push down into your heels. Lift that heart. Exhale here, down into your chair squat. Point those knees forward, drop the tailbone. Hold your squat. Inhale, twist open to the left. See if you could really point the knees forward here. Exhale, back to center, drop a little lower. Inhale, open to the right, point the knees forward. Exhale, drop a little lower, come back to center. Inhale, all the way up to standing, heart up. Exhale, hinging, fold all the way down. Halfway up on your inhale, you can bend your knees here, looking forward if that helps to unroll your spine. And then exhale, fold deeply here, all the way into your fold. Palms are down here. Inhale back to a plank. And keep going with your vinyasa. Exhale all the way down. One little cobra here. Inhale, pulling your heart open. And then exhale, up and back to downward facing dog. Come on up. Breathe here. Take 5 or 6 breaths in downward facing dog. Hopefully noticing some nice spaciousness in the backs of the legs, the backs of the shoulders. Okay, and then as you're ready here, go ahead and walk your feet all the way to your hands. So see if you could just walk all the way there. And then take a moment to just allow yourself to hang here. A little more hanging time. Okay, maybe bending your knees to sway a little bit. And then I want to play around with this fold and add some funky elements. So if you could bend your knees enough to at least get your fingertips on the floor. Okay, so those fingertips are down, and then pick up your right foot and cross it over your left. So your ankles are crossed, right? And then if everything's going great, you can start walking your hands out to the right. Okay, hands go over to the right, and let your head hang here. Take a little time. So remember, try to keep your feet on the floor. So you might have to put a little bend in your knees. Okay, you can bend those knees as much as you like. If it feels good walking your hands to the right, you can start even continuing them on their journey to where they're almost behind you. But make sure that feels good in your left low back. Okay. And keep the knees softly bent. Don't let them lock. Big side opener here. Low back opener. Hip. So take your time. We're going to bring the hands back through center. Bring the feet back to normal. And then let's cross the left foot over the right. Plant those feet firmly on the floor, soft bend in the knees. And maybe you just hang here, and that's quite enough, okay? Listen to that voice if that's the message you're getting. But if you want a little more, explore walking your hands out to the left, okay? So you're beginning to kind of peel open that right side. Breathe. Maybe walk your hands over more out to the left so that they're almost behind you. Fantastic opener from your right outer hip and glute all the way up to your right armpit and shoulder. Now take your time bringing that back through center. Let's bring the feet back to normal here. And then just bend your knees and come all the way down to a seat. I'll meet you on the floor. All right, shake your legs out. Legs should be feeling pretty good. We got them warm. We gave them a good stretch. So now is a great opportunity for us to get a little, to dive a little more deeply into the hips, the low back, the legs. So let's go there, okay? So go ahead and arrange your left shin out in front of you. So you're just facing out, maybe across the front or side of your space, your mat. Line that left shin up out in front of you so that it's at a nice little right angle at the ankle and a right angle at the knee, okay? And then you can lean back here. See if you could stack the right foot on top of the left knee and allow that right knee to kind of fall open toward the floor. So hold here and breathe, and just take some time. You might stay leaning back and just kind of wiggling. And for some folks, this is quite enough. So feel free to stay right here and don't feel like you have to keep going. So we're just kind of diving into sensations in the left hip, okay? The right hip, you might be feeling your low back or somewhere else in your legs. But if it feels all right, start to think about sitting up nice and tall. So I'd like to spend a good deal of time in this posture. And because we're nice and warm, is a really good time for us to do that. So relax, close your eyes, and just know that you'll be here for a while and there's no goal that we're trying to reach at all. Just being with what is, being with yourself. So flex those ankles, lean back more or less. And if all is going well, you're going to start to activate your legs as if you're trying to push the floor down. So I like to always activate those legs against the floor gently and then pull the knees inward toward each other gently. And that's where we get that leg activation that we're looking for. Okay, if this is going well, you can take your fingers out in front of you and gently push the floor down and away from you so that your hips go back a little more firmly. And keep breathing. We'll take maybe 6 more long, slow breaths right here. So gently press the legs against the floor. Maybe walk the fingers out as long as you can keep those hips down. And keep the neck long as well. All right, stacked logs pose. Great opener for the outer hip here. I'm feeling some spaciousness all around my SI joint where the spine joins into the pelvis. Great work for the outsides of the hip and the glute. Okay. You might feel it all up and down the outsides of your hamstrings as well. But we're going to take some time. Just take your time walking yourself out. There's no rush. Just come up and out. Lean back on your hands again. And let's deepen this idea just a little bit more, okay, before we leave. So you can just take your left hand and move your right foot further to the left so that the knees are quite close and you're sitting between your feet. So you can move your feet closer to you to make this more accessible, just to at least to get in. You can lean back, scooch the feet in close, but eventually you're sitting on both hips equally, and that right hip especially. You need to kind of push that one down. So you can stay leaning back. You can sit up tall. We're going to take a few minutes just being here as well. So close your eyes and settle in. Okay, and then start to connect with this posture. Okay, be actively in the posture. We're not moving necessarily, but we're active. So even if you're leaning back on your hands, I still want you to make your spine as long as it can be. I still want you to gently press the floor down with your legs and pull the knees together slightly, no matter what. Being active in the posture. Just like in the stacked logs posture we just left, if everything's going well here, you can start to walk your hands forward. Okay, keeping your longest neck, please, and keeping your hips pushing downward. Keep breathing. Really opening into that outer hip here. Great for the SI joint. Again, pulling all kinds of tension away from where the spine fits into the pelvis. All right, I could probably stay here all day, but for our purposes, take your time coming out. You could walk your hands back up and in. Lean back on your hands again. And now we get to reward ourselves by extending these legs and taking a few windshield wipers to shake it off. Okay, some nice work, releasing tension all around the hips. Let's switch sides. So next time your knees drop to the right, you're in the perfect setup already. So sit up looking at your right shin, line it up so that it's lined up with the direction that you're facing. Okay, then you can lean back and do your best to stack the left shin on top. Okay, stacking them very nicely, very neatly. I want you to be a little bit meticulous. So flexing your ankles very nicely, please. Sitting up nice and tall, please. Let's breathe here. You know we're going to be here for a bit. So settle in. Enjoy the moment. So varying degrees of how deeply you could move into this posture. So you're always kind of feeling it out. Stay leaning back. This is your more gentle option. But you've still got a long spine and you've still got your legs gently pressing the floor down, moving the knees inward. You could sit up taller if you liked. Okay. Keep the legs on the clock and you could even walk your hands out front. Breathing wherever you are. Noticing everything about how your legs feel, how your low back feels. This is one of those postures that you could stay in for a long time if you wanted to. Just being in it and allowing the legs to soften along the outside. So a lot of softening happening from your side of your shins on the outside all the way up to your hip. Okay, take your time. We're going to transition back up to a seat if you folded. So if you folded, walk yourself back so that you're leaning back again. And we'll transition into a cow face pose. So use your right hand to pull that left ankle over to the right so that the knees are close. Okay, take your time. You can pull your feet close to you so that it's easier to sit down. Okay. Play around with it. So everyone's a little different here in cow face pose, but no matter where you are, your spine is long, your left glute is grounded, so both hips equally heavy, and you're going to gently resist the floor still. Gently push down, gently pull the knees toward each other. And you might stay there, you might start to walk the hands forward. Breathe here. Close your eyes. Just settle into being in this posture. Notice everything about your legs, your back. I just find this to be such a fantastic pressure release for the whole low back and sacrum. Hopefully it's nice for you as well, okay? Really diving into these poses, a little activity, it's amazing. Just a little active in the legs and you can get a whole world of release. So take your time coming up out of this. No rush. Lean back on your hands. You can kick your legs out and windshield wiper them out again. Hopefully feeling really nice in your low back here. Okay, next time your knees point up, pause there. Okay, sit up again, this time putting your feet together. Okay, I like to call it a foot sandwich. So nice and sandwiched with the bottoms of your feet. And then feel free to place the feet as close to you or as far away from you as you like, okay? I like to make my legs into a very square shape, but you play around. And then just start by sitting up nice and tall. Close your eyes. Notice that your knees are heavy toward the floor, and if it feels right, give a little extra heaviness to your knees by using the strength of your outer leg to draw the knees downward, okay? Maybe you feel like you want to start to walk your fingers forward by your feet. Keep breathing, gently pushing the knees downward, gently lengthening your heart towards your feet. So no, there's no rush at all. It does not matter how far you fold. Just make a nice feeling of length in your spine. A nice long neck feeling. And we'll take a few more breaths here, just allowing your upper body to drape. You might come down to your elbows, but continue to gently resist the floor with your legs. Gently pull the knees down. Feeling the whole back side of your body here spreading open. All the way from the back of your neck to your hips. Maybe one more big breath here in your Baddha Konasana, your bound angle pose. And then you can start to walk your hands back up. Take your time. There's no rush. Okay, lean back on your hands here and then pick your knees up, put them together. Okay, and we're gonna come down to elbows. So from where you are, just drop your elbows underneath your shoulders. Okay, and here we are. So we did a lot of folding just now, allowing your spine to round and curve forward. And I just want to counter it with a nice lifted open heart, a little extension in your spine. So keeping just a soft bend in your knees, just enough to keep your feet on the floor. Start to push your elbows down and lift your rib cage. So think as the elbows push down, the shoulder blades lift the heart, the whole rib cage up toward the ceiling. So take a few breaths, just opening the fronts of your shoulders. You might feel some shoulder, some chest opening. And I know it might feel tempting here to just drop your head and let your throat kind of open up to the ceiling, but keep a little protection, please, in your neck by tucking your chin in towards your chest a bit. And then if you want to drop your head, do it with your chin tucked in so your neck stays really long. And keep lifting that heart. We'll take a few more breaths here. Think of pushing the floor down, lifting the heart up. Keep a little tuck in your chin all the time, a little activity in the neck. One more breath here, bringing extra space into your heart and your throat and your chest. As you're ready to come out, pull the chin back into your chest if you dropped your head, And then you can just remove one elbow at a time out to the side. Come down to your back. Come on down. All right, if you just scoot your feet in a little closer to you here, and then pop your hips a little bit over to the left. You can drop your knees to the right. And we're gonna look to the left here. You can make cactus arms with your upper body, keeping your chest spread. Close your eyes here, enjoying this nice twist. As you look away from your knees, we have this nice lengthening twist going up and down your spine. And then I want to encourage you for your next few breaths here to really think of lifting your heart up toward the ceiling in your twist. Expanding the available space across your ribs. All right, as you're ready, we're going to switch sides. So bring those knees through center and then just pause, pop the hips over to the right and drop the knees to the left. Just makes it a little easier. And then look to the right, hold and breathe. Okay, once you settle into the twist, of course, you're breathing very deeply using big chest inhales, strong belly exhales. Start to think of lifting your heart toward the ceiling, like you wanted it to be the tallest thing about you here. Strong belly exhales. Using all the muscles that support your low back. All right, what a great twist. Take your time, we're coming back through center. Bring the legs back in. Go ahead and extend your legs. Extend your hands or your arms down by your sides. And here's where we get to rest and just let go. Allow the breath to return to a really soft, natural pace that takes no effort. Allow your body to return to a soft, natural state that takes no effort at all, just all ease in all your muscles. Each breath, a little more tension can melt out of your body into the floor. And just allow yourself some time to be in this moment. Noticing your breath and your body. Notice what is happening right now. And just be here. And please keep resting just like this for as long as you can. This is where I'll leave you for our practice today. Thanks so much for joining.